Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the 9 p.m. live English edition. The headlines. Commemorating the 43rd anniversary of independence in Djibouti. The United States registers the highest number of new cases due to the COVID-19. Hello, welcome to our newsroom. Having the news in details. The president of the Russian Federation, Mr. Vladimir Putin, is one of the final batch of leaders at the head of brotherly and friendly countries that have expressed their sympathy to the Republic of Djibouti on the occasion of the 27th of June. In a congratulatory telegram sent to his Djiboutian counterpart, the Russian president said that he was convinced that the progressive development of Russian-Djiboutian relations fully meets the interests of our two peoples. It also goes in the direction of strengthening regional stability and security, he noted, wishing good health and success to the President of the Republic as well as the peace and prosperity to all Djiboutian. The United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, is also among the illustrious personalities and leaders of leading world institutions and organizations who have expressed their friendship and sympathy to the Republic of Djibouti on the anniversary of its National Independence Day. In a telegram sent to the head of state, Ismail Omar Guelleh, the Secretary General of the United Nations, commended the invaluable contribution that the Republic of Djibouti is making to the United Nations system. The determination which your country contributes to the organization action in all the priority areas of activities, the international community plays an extremely important role, wrote Antonio Guterres. I am counting on the contribution and support of the Republic of Djibouti to all these efforts which contribute to our aspiration for a more peaceful, more just and more sustainable world for all, he said in the same vein. Now, the Speaker of the Arab Parliament, His Excellency Dr. Mashal, sent his congratulations to the Speaker of National Assembly on the 43rd anniversary of our country. Dr. Mashal wished the people of Djibouti health, progress and development. At the same time, the President of the Majlis al-Ummah of Kuwait, His Excellency Marzouk Ali Al-Ranim, sent a message of congratulations to His Excellency the President of National Assembly, Mr. Mohammed Ali Mohammed, in which he expressed his wish of happiness and development to the brotherly people of Djibouti. Now in Dikil, like their compatriots in the capital and other parts of the country, the Dikil region celebrated with joy the 43rd anniversary of our country's ascension to national sovereignty 43 years ago on June 27, 1977. As usual, a great ceremony took place on the Independence Square of Dikil in front of the prefecture in the presence of all the active actors of the region and numerous official guests. The festivities, which took place in the presence of the prefect of the region of Dikil, Adam Drar Musa, were marked by the participation of many personalities, including local elected officials, customary chiefs, ulama, numerous active women from civil society. The atmosphere and the enthusiasm aroused by the patriotic songs electrified the audience at the Independence Day party in the capital of Dikil Unity, where all the communities live in harmony. The 43rd anniversary memorial ceremony was marked by the laying of wreath in memory of Djiboutian who fell in the struggle of the country's independence in Dikil. The Fatiha was read for the souls of these valiant citizens who died for their country. Thereafter, the prefect of Dikil, Mr. Adam Darar Musa, took the floor to wish a happy feast to all the inhabitants, as well as the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, and the First Lady, Mrs. Khadra Mohammed Haid, and to the whole government and the people of Djibouti as a whole.
C'est pour moi un grand plaisir et une immense fierté de célébrer avec vous ce 43e anniversaire.
Similar in Obok, national independence is celebrated in a sober or special and symbolic way in Obok. The 43rd anniversary of national independence was celebrated in a special and symbolic way because of COVID-19 in Obok. Neither the customary musical festivities on the evening of 26 June nor the traditional military parade on 27 June took place. Despite the decoration of the main street and the facades of state premises institutions with national colors, as throughout the country activities to celebrate the freedom dearly won in 1977 were reduced to the essential minimum. At the approach of midnight, the Deputy Prefect Ali Maki, the President of the Regional Council, Mohammed Ahmed Ismail, representatives of the region in the National Hemicycle, Kamil Ahmed and Ali Ahmed Hassan, the Colonel of the RIAO, Aden Douali, found themselves on the empty Independence Square at first in the history of the nation. A group of police officers impeccably aligned presented the salute of honor to the national flag hosted against the background of the music and lyrics of the national anthem. Still in Obok, very early in the morning, the same officials were invited to take part in a small memorial ceremony at the camp of Obok Inter-Army Battalion under the command of Colonel Aden Douali. In the morning, the celebration of the 43rd anniversary was also marked by the deposition of wreaths of flowers in memory of our martyrs fallen on the battlefield. After the traditional review of the troop, the colonel of the barracks and the deputy prefect proceeded to the laying of a wreath of flowers at the corner of the martyrs of the barrack. A little later in the middle of the morning, deputies of the region, local elected officials, uniformed corps leaders, traditional chiefs, and other guests met in the inter-army camp of Obok for a moment of festive conviviality, and at the end, the colonel decorated the famous Obok notable. Now, in Tajora, the White City celebrated the 43rd anniversary of independence in an extremely special context this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In fact, also for this celebration, the civil-military activities have been automatically cancelled for fear of the pandemic. We want to celebrate in accordance with the measure decreed that the taking up of arms by the men in uniform to ensure the raising of the flag. The taking up of arms and the raising are marked by strong emotions during this national event, celebrating everyone in indifference. This celebration marked by the presence of Prefect Hassan Dabele, the President of the Regional Council, Omar Hussein, the RAAT Chief of Staff Colonel Ali Shahm, the parliamentarian, the police and the gendarmerie constitutes the high point to which the number one traditional authorities. His Highness the Wazir of Tajura is added. In the morning, the 43rd anniversary celebration was also marked by the deposit of the worth of flowers to the memory of our martyrs fallen on the battlefields.
Altikasagayele Kugubal kudailoko waktele Kura siktil altikasagayele Kugubal kudailoko waktele Dinele Dinele.
Now in Ali Sabih, national independence celebrated with sobriety or in a special and symbolic way in Ali Sabih, like all region of the country and the capital. The 43rd anniversary of national independence were celebrating a special and symbolic, as I said, neither the customary musical festivities on the evening of 26 or nor the traditional military parade on 27 June took place. These very small celebrations were the result of strict adherence to the recommendations of professionals from the Ministry of Public Health to avoid mass contamination of the deadly coronavirus, despite the decoration of the main arteries of facades in the state premises institution with national colors. As throughout the country, activities to celebrate the freedom dearly won in 1977 have been reduced to the essential minimum. As midnight approached, the prefect of the region, Musa Aden Migani, the president of the regional council, Omar Ahmed Wais, his deputy representatives of the region in the national hemicycle gathered in the local square of the empty independence, a first in the history of the nation. To salute, a group of impeccably lined up police officers presented the salute of honor to the national flag being raised against the background of the music and lyric of the anthem. Yesterday, the same officials were invited to take part in a small memorial ceremony at the camp of Al Sabih Anti-Army Battalion under the command of Colonel Abdi Wasi. On the spot, different elements of the National Police and Republican Guard were posted around a followed square area dedicated to the military celebration. After the traditional review of the troop, the colonel of the barrack and officials of the region proceeded to a place of wreath of flowers at the corner of the martyrs of the barrack. A sort of solemn procession that ended with divine imploration in memory of the martyrs of national independence. A little later, at mid-morning, deputies from the region, local elected officials, uniformed corps leaders, traditional chiefs, and other guests gathered at the prefect residence for a moment of festive conviviality. This gathering, respectful of social distancing, ended with the cutting of a cake in the effigy of the national colors on this 43rd anniversary.
اللهم ارحم شهداءنا يا رب العالمين اللهم ارحم شهداءنا يا رب العالمين اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من البرص والجذام والجنون وسيء الأسقام برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
Now in Arta like their compatriots in the capital and other parts of the country. The Arta region celebrated the 43rd anniversary of the ascension of our country. As usual, a great ceremony took place on the Independence Square in front of the prefecture in the presence of all the active actors of the region and the numerous official guests. The festivities, which took place in the auspices of the prefect of the region, were marked by the participation of many personalities, including local elected officials, customary chiefs, ulama, and numerous active women from civil society. The atmosphere and enthusiasm of patriotic songs electrified the audience at the Independence Day party.
العالمين اللهم انا نسالك عفوا والعافيه والمعافاه الدائمه في الدين والدنيا والاخره اللهم احسن عاقبتنا وخاتمتنا في الامور كلها واثرنا ما في الدنيا على الاخره اللهم اعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم فاتح.
The royal ceremony was attended by authorities of the region, including the prefect and the president of the regional council. The regional official first greeted the flag, which was raised under the sound of Arta, reviewing the regiment under the orders of the colonel. In the rest of the news, following the announcement of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Margeli, that Djibouti would facilitate operations to change stranded sea crews in response to the joint appeal by the International Maritime Organization. The first operation began yesterday evening. Indeed, the crew on board the crypto-flagged vessel MV Mirella, consisting of 18 Ukrainian and 1 Russian sailor, were disembarked from the ship after more than a year at sea. As part of the crew change, a private jet arrived today with 19 other sailors on board who will take over. The vessel MV Mirella, which arrived in Djibouti on 30 May, was carrying fertilizer bound for Ethiopia. The port and the free zone authorities in charge of coordination has put in place the transfer, logistics, and facilitation of immigration formalities. These operations will continue in the coming days. Faithful to its culture and of solidarity, Djibouti has shown once again that is ready to respond to any humanitarian action in the context of maritime trade. Now it is with a great sadness that we learn of the death of Jibril Jama Elabe, former ambassador of Djibouti and former Secretary General of the Foreign Affairs Ministry and International Cooperation. On this painful occasion, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, all the ministers, officials extended their condolences to the family and loved ones of the deceased. For their part, the Minister of Transport Musa Mohamed Ahmed and the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to Belgium expressed their sincere condolences to the family and loved ones of the late Jibril Jama Elabe. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Moving on to the international news now, a new all-time record was set in the United States where 40,000 new COVID-19 infections were recorded in 24 hours, the highest number ever recorded. 4 states, Florida, Texas, California, and Arizona, accounted for almost half of the new cases recorded, according to the American press. The COVID-19 pandemic is progressing in the southern United States and Latin America and threatens the return to Europe, where the inhabitants are called upon to remain vigilant. Now in Europe reopens its external border to some 15 countries, but with conditions. From 6 July, the fortnight may no longer be compulsory for foreign travelers arriving in the UK. This measure will only affect nationals of certain countries whose officials list is due to be published next week by the UK authorities. Another list was drawn up at a meeting of ambassadors from European Union and Schengen countries. It brings together some 15 states whose nationals who will be readmitted to the European Union on 1st July. This is it for this edition of 9 p.m. Thank you for watching us and have a wonderful night.